Welcome back to another YouTube video. This episode, we finished the entire rear end of the GQ with a quarter chop and our rear bar. So this is the same rear bar we've always had on the GQ, except it's just been freshened up. We've got new paint, new jerry can holder, all new hardware and bearings for the swingaways, and mud flaps and exhaust, everything to tie the rear end together. So if we come have a look at all our parts, we've got the rear bar, which has got new gas struts, bearings and hardware, like I said, and paint. This is the fuel filler cover that goes onto the body of the car. And then we've got rubber for our mud flaps, some hardware and fittings, and our 4-inch exhaust, just the very last bit. The only reason this hasn't been put on the car is because this interferes with the quarter chop. So it actually needs to be quarter chop for that to fit. And we've got our spare tire, which is our ROH Assault, and our Wild Peak AT3W all-terrain. Rear bar is pretty simple. It is a tire swing away and jerry swing away, dual independent swingaways with over center latches. So the latches go as so, and then it's on gas struts, which opens like that. Same for the jerry can. Now, this rear bar was made by myself back in, I think, 2021. I had the base made for me with the tube, and then I did the swingaways, the latches, the jerry can holder, and the rest of it. We used to have a different style jerry can holder and tire swingaway, but since then it's all been modified, and we've got different tail lights and everything. And we've changed the plate on the top of the bar that sits just here, and we've added this support here, which is actually off the barn door of a GQ, and that just helps take some of the weight for the whole 35. It's basically a mimic of a Razlar rear bar, just with a couple of modifications to make it for what I wanted, really. Nothing too special. So here we're modifying our old swingaway to suit our new jerry can holder. Our new jerry can holder is shorter, so it requires us to cut the top off. You can see here, this is how the jerry can holder will be mounted to the swingaway. And then we've got these little triangle supports here that are going to get welded on either side just to stop the jerry can holder from moving left and right, up or down or anything. So the quarter chop is done. Both sides are just in primer and it needs some paint. It is fully welded and it is done nice and flat. Really happy with this result. Obviously I did take this to a body shop because I'm not doing this sort of stuff myself. I want this to last a while, so I wanted it done properly. As for the outside, it's literally just primer for now. It'll have to get painted, then the rear bar and everything can go on to finish it off. Alright, so our rear bar is finally done. It's on the car, it's quarter chopped, the exhaust is on, and everything has been used and tested at Greensbreak. I think this car looks fantastic now from the back. I am stoked. So we've had the GQ quarter chopped at the back, which is where the quarters get cut off so that the rear bar can sit higher up and we can have more clearance. We've got our base rear bar on with jerry can swing away, spare tire swing away, and our 4-inch exhaust at the back, which couldn't go on before because it interfered with the quarter chop. And then the rest of the stuff like tail lights, mud flaps to tie it all in and make it look good. Now the latching system is pretty simple, literally 2 over center latches. 1 and 2 like so, and then both just open with gas struts. And both of our gas struts are measured properly, so our barn doors don't hit the swingaways for the big and the small ones, like so, which is great. Now, you would not believe how many people ask me, oh, Oscar, how do you mount your mud flaps? Well, it's very, very simple. Basically, there's an L bracket that's welded along here and it goes that way and the rubber bolts to it. So I'll show you. Well, you can literally see L bracket on the rear bar, comes off to this side and the rubber literally bolts to it. You can choose, because you're bolting your own rubber to it, you can choose how far in and out you want it, and it tucks into the factory flare like so. You can choose your length and everything. So that's 300mm wide rubber and it covers the 35 pretty well. So simplest thing ever. The only annoying issue is the mud flap rubber is still kinked a lot at the bottom, which really annoys me that they're not perfectly straight. But otherwise the bar's perfect. We've put it on, it's bolted on, just worked seamlessly, no issues, no pulling the bar back off and fixing stuff. And it looks fantastic with the rear wing and nothing on the roof. The car really does look great, just so tucked up and neat at the rear. Actually, one of the issues I had was these caps for the swingways are super weak and hard to get on, and they both got dented with the mallet while I was putting them on, but not really much you can do about that though. That's okay, minor issue, doesn't really bother me too much. And I had this little support here that used to line up with this on the back of the bar. This is actually off the stock support from the GQ, so it's actually this part here and this part here, welded on the bar just to help hold the 35. But the tolerance between the bar and the body changed compared to my old car, because my old car had a lot of repairs with this area. So I did have to cut the top half of that off, but I'm going to cut the whole thing off because now it's basically redundant, just because the barn door actually would hit it upon opening. But that's okay, don't need that anymore, that can go in the bin. Otherwise, we've been issue free and it's worked great. It's copped a little bit of a hitting at greens break, but that's exactly what it's here to do. Just scratches on the bottom, I guess you could say, but you know, it's a rear bar. That's the point of it, I guess. My other greens break damage consists of the sill, which is annoying, but not terrible. That plastic part that goes up the stone guard, it was already broken, so that's okay. But the top of the sill isn't bad. It touched the door a tiny bit, but the top's still flat and the back of it's still flat, so it'll really just need to be pulled out and the bottom can be straightened. Not a bad fix, should be pretty easy, so I'm not too annoyed. And one of the main things I was concerned about when I quarter chopped it was the long range fuel tank and how low it sits. It's honestly not as bad as I thought because it kind of tows into the tow bar, but it copped a hitting 3 times at greens break, so I think it's gonna have to go. Don't get me wrong, it's really convenient having 147 litres of fuel, but low hanging, gonna hit everything, looks a little bit shit. I don't know, maybe 95 or the 90 litre, whatever tank will work fine for me. I think the only last addition to the rear bar might be a number plate light, because that's the only real thing I'm missing. Otherwise, I'm stoked with it, super happy. No complaints for considering it's built by myself, but it is tying in the car really well. The black pillars, dark wrap, chrome wheels, silver suspension is a great combo and I'm stoked. Don't forget to subscribe because that motivates me to make more of these videos. For now, rear bar is finished. Not sure what's next. Maybe rooftop tent, maybe rock sliders. Until then, my hair looks terrible, doesn't it?
car and your car on opposite angles.
Yeah.
Oh gosh,